Man, paintball is super fun. Got him. Did that person just explode? We'll ignore that. Let's just see what else we can do. Okay, why did they explode again? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't even shoot. Why are you exploding? Welcome back to the Calderock Show. Today we are discussing a game series that kind of came out of nowhere, but took off in the greatest way possible. Because it is honestly something that was a little refreshing for the time. And of course, we're talking about a paintball classic. When I say classic, again, came out of nowhere. Splatoon, specifically the third one. So why don't we jump right on into Splatoon? Oh, wait a minute. So one of the issues with Splatoons, because I gotta address it right away, is the beginning. The beginning of the game, you always jump in and you're told what's going on during that day. Because Splatoon isn't this simple, easy game. Splatoon has to make it where you can only do certain things certain days. So it's like, you can do turf war, all this other stuff, but luckily you don't have to watch it anymore. You can click a button and you are right to where you need to be. Now, in talking about the main menu here, because you can see the menu is all here, you kind of have to just figure out where you're going. Like, there's no real directions, unfortunately. Like, you have to guess where all the shops is, but you can hit X, and they tell you what you need to do, like the lobby, the crater, we're in the city, the school, all that, and then here's all the shops, the general and the train station, because there's different stuff, too. And then this, that tells you what's going on for the day with all the stuff. So, like, there's Salmon Run, Challenge, bam, bam, bam. So, just to go over it real quick, Salmon Run is the, like, kind of a horde mode from, like, Gears of War-esque, where, you're going waves and waves. Challenges are more of a single player. Anarchy Battle is just kind of more or less like the ranked mode between these two, and again, you have like these certain things you can do, and then regular battle where you can do turf war on these certain maps only, and you see that that's what it is. Well, alright, before we get into gameplay, let's talk about all these shops. Excuse me, I am sorry. So, the shop-wise, we'll start with the weapons. You can purchase weapons when you have these tickets. Again, we'll hurry them up. And you're able to purchase certain weapons, but the way it works, though, is you get the weapon, and it comes with, like, a special grenade and a super move you can use. So you can see here, like, you could get, like, a normal splatter gun, you can get a paintbrush, a bow and arrow, a bucket, a slosh bucket. Like, it is pretty wild with what you can and cannot get. You can do certain things, and they give you certain combos, but you can't. One thing I don't like about it, which is really frustrating, is you can't customize it like in Call of Duty or something like that, where it's like, all right, let me pick the gun I want, and then I'll pick my side and my super. No, you have to make sure you buy the one you want and make sure, that's the way it works. Like, say if I got the Splat Roller, I'm stuck with the Squid Beacon and the Kraken Royal, but what if I wanted to use the Killer Whale and the Paint Sensor? I'd have to find it with that. Now, on top of that, too, each weapon does have certain damage. Like the sniper rifle, full charge, one hit. Paintbrush, you really need to hit hard. The Splatter Pro is like a normal paintball gun. Like, it's definitely a little wild with what they do. And like I said, like it really is just kind of annoying that I can't pick what weapon I want to use with what side. I have to, like, pick the certain combo they already have laid out for me. And that's not, honestly, that's really annoying. That is really, really annoying. Like, I want to use, I want to use everything. Like, I want to switch it up the way I want to switch it up. I should be allowed to. Now, for more more stuff, you can get clothing. Clothing gives you certain power-up upgrades. Like, you can level them up and get super things. And you see the question marks means it can add more things. But honestly, I always like the ink recovery up. I find that to be the best one because it just helps you get ink faster. Actually, no. What also helps is the super builder. That's the one I really like because that's the one that gets you like the super much quicker. Because when you do that too, you just refill automatically. But you could also get hats. You can get shirts. and you can get shoes. And something they added into this game was just getting locker stuff. Locker stuff is just kind of a display thing. It's not the most fun thing. Like, yeah, you get stuff. That's it. You just get things. It doesn't do much. I don't really do much with it. It's fun, but you really go for the paint, these stuff here, so that's where you get all your stuff. We also have to talk about kind of what it's like to get into a match. So you gotta walk your way over to a lobby, or like the main hub. Like there's a center specifically for. Oh crap! There's a you gotta be careful with that. There is a center that's meant for like where you start the game. So like you see up right front here, you have your center, and it's like, all right, let's go in. Let's see what's going on. So you get to connect, and then you can do you could do practice here. But when you're ready to really go, you roll right into here. And then you have all the stuff that we looked at earlier. And you have tabletop, but that's like a card battling kind of system, and that's not... Yeah, I don't really do that. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty now. Let's talk about the gameplay. So, the gameplay is fun. Oh, whoops. I tried to throw my thing. Alright. So, the gameplay, it works like any shooter. You hold the trigger to shoot. You move around with the stick. You have to use the other stick to look. A is jump. I think B is tumble. And whatnot. Now, the way you really got to win, though, because if you're doing the main mode of Turf War, you really got to paint everything. Because it is all about getting the most of your color down. You don't even pick the color you want in the beginning. You just kind of roll with it. So, we're the light blue you see. So, you got to go in, get whatever you can, paint it up as quick as possible. And you want to knock out the other people, too. Because the moment you knock out other people... Also, they explode in your color as well because you loaded them up on your color. So you see here, people are using their supers, people are throwing grenades, they're shooting around, they're getting what they can. Now, one concept of it, too, is when you run out of ink, you have to reload, but you reload by turning into a squid yourself and going into the paint to refill. That's a very interesting thing because you are technically we're called Inklings or the Octo Kids, I think they are. Octolings, that's what they are. So basically, it's literally just a paintball match, but instead of focusing on taking them out, you focus on just covering the field in paint. And that's all you're really doing. And it's just fun, it's simple, it's like really, really easy to get into as well. Like it gets really addictive. You could be sitting here playing, because the games are also just super quick, too. Like, you go for, what, maybe like 3 minutes, and then you're on to the next one. There's really not much, like, to really complain about when in terms of gameplay. There's a lot to complain about, though, in the way they handle it, though. 'Cause like I said, like, just, you're only allowed to play on 2 maps per cycle. Literally, that's it. Only 2 maps per cycle, and that is actually quite frustrating. So it's like, what if I don't like the maps that you're playing? Do I have to just come back a different day? Seriously? And then also, like, the loadouts. Like, you have to wait for a certain loadout that you want. That's not fun. I want to be able to create my own loadout. Like, what if I want to use a certain gun with a certain super, or a super, side weapon? Ugh, excuse me. I should be able to do that. I should be allowed to... pick what I want. I shouldn't be forced to use... I shouldn't be forced to use, like, what you're providing. Like, I should be allowed to switch it. So that definitely gets very frustrating. Like, just... I don't know. It's definitely a bit... Like, I want to say it's a minor grief, but it's also kind of a big grief. Because it's like, why should I have to be forced to do it your way? I want to be able to do it, a certain way myself. I want to be allowed to... make my own setup. I want to be allowed to do this stuff because it's like, oh man, like I really want to use the Tetra missiles with. Excuse me, sorry. I want to use the Tetra missiles like with a certain paintbrush or with a roller or something like that. So there's a lot of missteps I feel like they took. There's a lot of good stuff they did though that I feel were very innovative. Now. You'll see the way you win. These guys determine what the coverage on the field was. With that all being said, all the goods, all the bads, kind of everything in between. I do have to say this game gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Like I said, you get sucked in and you could play for hours and hours. But the frustration of the only 2 maps, the frustration of the cycling out, the frustration of like the predetermined loadouts, it's not exciting. It's not fun. It does get very, very frustrating. So, that is my review of Splatoon, specifically Splatoon 3 in this case, because they do offer a lot of, you know, quality of life, you know, aspects for the game. So, I want to know what you guys think of Splatoon 3 down below. Please feel free to leave a comment. Tell me on Twitter. Tell me on Instagram. Tell me on TikTok if you see the skit. Let me know what you think of Splatoon 3. And make sure you like, subscribe, follow, if you're wherever you're looking. And make sure you hit the bell icon. Keep up to date with everything we're doing on the channel. We're doing much more things now. We're branching out, doing what we can. And we will see you in the next review.